This is 7 News with Rod Young and Kay McGrath.
Good evening. Prime Minister Kevin Rudd has apologised to the stolen generations. His historic speech sparked cheering both in and outside Parliament and drew tears from those who, as children, were taken from their families.
Powerful words to end a painful chapter in Australia's story.
As Prime Minister of Australia, I am sorry. On behalf of the Government of Australia, I am sorry. On behalf of the Parliament of Australia, I am sorry.
The nation stopped to listen.
We apologise for the indignity, the degradation and the humiliation these laws embodied. We offer this apology to the mothers, the fathers, the brothers, the sisters, the families and the communities whose lives were ripped apart by the actions of successive governments.
It warmed many hearts and broke others. With all living past Prime Ministers watching, except John Howard, Mr Rudd said it was time to put cooperation above politics and close the gap to provide educational and economic opportunity to Indigenous communities and attack what Mr Rudd called the obscenity of high infant mortality rates. The first step is a joint policy commission headed by himself and opposition leader Brendan Nelson for an Indigenous housing strategy. Dr Nelson left behind his party's long opposition to an apology.
As one people, we are sorry.
But he divided people by pointing to recent cases of child rape in Aboriginal communities and with this.
There is no compensation fund for this, nor should there be.
Hundreds turned their backs and stopped listening. And Mr Rudd's call for political unity rang hollow as his senior media advisor Lachlan Harris and another member of his staff turned their backs as Dr Nelson's speech was broadcast to a big parliamentary reception. Mr Rudd said they'd been counselled.
Have you apologised to Mr Nelson yet?
I wrote a letter of apology to Mr Nelson.
Another sorry event underlining how hard it will be to get everyone on the same page as the next chapter of Australia's story is written. Mark Riley, 7 News.
They've shed their tears, and tonight those who travel to Canberra are sharing their stories at the Tent Embassy. The hurt runs deep, but there's a sense of relief that an apology has finally come.
Thousands came to share a day which promised to unite a nation.
It's absolutely a wonderful day for us.
The beginning of what is good, what is right, give us a chance to make all the wrongs right.
The wrongs remain deeply felt.
They just tore me away and just said you had to go.
And I can still remember to this day, it was like a death in the family. And the family was just wailing.
Martha was 10 when she was taken. Today, with many of the stolen generations, she was brought to meet the Prime Minister.
This is a special occasion.
Martha shed a tear in the parliamentary chamber. The intensity of the moment lightened a little later during an official reception.
But today is a beginning of a healing process for me.
It's a badge now worn with pride.
Oh, that's what we've been waiting for. Yeah, it was just magic.
Celebration spilled outside. Once the celebrations end here at the Aboriginal Tent Embassy, Indigenous people will be keeping a close eye on Kevin Rudd to make sure he delivers on his promise to improve their lives. Damien Smith, 7 News.
In Queensland, Aboriginal leaders called on their people to work hard to build a prosperous future in the land of opportunity. And the word sorry even brought a tear to the Premier's eye.
From Coranda in the far north to a makeshift theatre in Townsville.
This is so great, we're one nation.
Out west to Cherbourg, they were celebrating. In Brisbane, at a Parliament House breakfast, the Premier was reduced to tears.
But on Saturday I woke up and Cathy Freeman said it right. She said, just the right thing to do.
No prizes for guessing the word of the day at schools, and Government House was flying the flag.
Everything that is done to us, it was done in the name of this thing!
Not long ago, Wayne Wharton was burning the Australian flag. He stormed Parliament, been arrested. Now he runs his own building company.
Just build it off our own two hands. You know, it started with a pinch bar and a truck and just kept going.
He says it's crucial now for Aborigines to work hard and take responsibility for themselves.
Start acting like you're free, acting like you're capable of doing these things and actually doing them.
Wayne Wharton, like so many other members of Queensland's Indigenous community, says he feels like he's been set free, but there's a lot more work to do.
At a lunchtime celebration at Musgrave Park, a reminder the wounds may never heal.
I don't know my family at all on either side. I'm still searching, but to no avail.
But the gap between black and white may finally be closing. Neil Warren, 7 News.